This is the Show Your Heart Out series, show number 2, Senior English Pleasure, with your judge, Jessica Bowman. We had 3 entries in this class, so we're going to start with our third place, which is Bailey and Going for Broke. Okay. So right away, I do like this horse's walk. Nice 4-beat walk. He looks like he's going somewhere. He's not really dragging along. I would like to see this rider get a little more contact, drive that horse forward even a little bit more into that bit, and I think that stride's going to lengthen even at the walk. And then as we go up into the trot, we kind of see the same thing. This horse does have a nice 2-beat trot, but he's looking a little unbalanced. So what we need to kind of do, shorten those reins a little bit, and as we sit, be driving that horse forward up into that bridle. Again, that's going to lengthen our stride. Get that horse tracking up all the way underneath itself, using its hindquarters a little bit more. And as we go into the canter, same kind of thing. This is a really nice, cute kind of Western type canter, but this is the English, so we really want something that's a little more ground covering, more of a length in the stride, and I do think this horse has the capability, so getting some contact on those reins, bringing our hands down a little bit so we have a straight line from our elbow to that horse's mouth, and then pushing that horse up into the bridle, lifting their rib cage, allowing them to get their hindquarter underneath them and finish out in those front legs is really going to help this exhibitor move up the card. She has a nice reverse, no real loss of forward motion, which I like to see in the walk. Again, just like to see more contact in the hunt seat. A little bit lower in the hand with this horse having a lower headset. And same kind of thing with the trot this way. He's doing a little bit better job of getting up and kind of taking a hold of that bridle and stretching out and lengthening that stride this way, but I do think there's potential for more. Nice transition into the canter. Again, just more contact, getting that horse to take a hold of that bit a little bit, drive them forward so that they're using that hindquarter and finishing up through the front inside leg is really what we want to see. Having that rider lower her hands just a little, along with shortening those reins, is really going to help with that frame. She has a nice stop. Again, a little high in the hands. I'd like to see those lower for the hunt seat pleasure, the English pleasure. But horse has a really nice backup, no resistance. In our second place in this class is Stephanie. We have a nice 4-beat walk, a little bit of hesitation in the walk. When I consider the breed of horse this is, I'd actually like to see that walk lengthen in stride, have a little more forward motion. Again, same as our last exhibitor, more contact on that bit and that bridle, and then be pushing that horse up into that bridle, lengthening their stride, asking them to use their hindquarters a little bit more, and you'll get that forward motion and more balance out of that horse. Okay, a little bit of a head pop going into the canter. Again, more contact, more balance will help with that. And then same thing here. This is a really cute, almost Western canter lope, and we really want to see that horse bridle up a little more, bring the elbows back to get more contact on that bit, push that horse forward, and encourage that forward motion. When you're going slow like this, you have that long rein, can cause your horse to be imbalanced, and you'll have a break like what just happened can occur. We kind of slow that walk down in this reverse, and for the hunt seat or the English pleasure, we really want to see them keep the same walk that they had going down that rail, not lose any of that forward motion. Okay, we want to work on that transition a little bit. We did have to push that horse kind of hard to get him to trot off. But as we go into the trot this direction, I do like the trot better this direction. The horse has more forward motion, a longer length of stride as she comes around. I think there's more potential there to bridle this horse up and push it out even further. And again, a little bit of a head pop there. I think that would be assisted by having that horse a little more bridled up, a little more forward motion and collection. Just like the trot, I do like the canter better this direction, more length of stride, a little bit more collection, but I do think there's a lot of potential for even more here. Bringing that horse up in that front end, pushing them forward, getting their hind quarter underneath them. Get a nice soft back up. A little bit of resistance, and that rider's kind of tipping forward. That can kind of make your horse unsure. Make sure you stay square over that hip and kind of bring your hands to you when you back that horse up. I like to tell people, bring that horse to you, don't go to the horse. But overall, really nice ride. And then our first place in this class was Christy. Now, right away, I noticed that this horse has good contact on the bit. He's reaching into his bridle. I do think that they have more potential for a lengthening of the stride at the walk here. There's some little spots here of some hesitation, but that horse is still being pushed up into the bridle. Okay, nice transition into the trot. The horse holds its frame. He has a nice trot. He wants to come up out of the bridle a little bit, but the rider's doing a good job as he starts to come up. I can see her lifting that rib cage, asking him to stay on that bridle, and having that contact really makes that a lot easier. But nice length of stride in the trot. Sets him up well for the canter. This horse looks a little bit greener. So she canters off. She kind of lifts that belly up with her legs, offers him or her a little bit of assistance. This horse has a really nice canter. It could use with picking that rib cage even more up, allowing that hind quarter to get underneath and opening up that inside shoulder and keeping that shoulder standing up. We have a nice downward transition. We don't lose our forward motion here, which I like to see. Gets a little doggy in the turnaround at the walk, so same thing as our previous exhibitor. I don't want to see the pace change when we reverse at the walk. We want to continue with our forward motion, not kind of stall out. Be a little more ground covering in that walk this direction as well. Now this horse does kind of pop out of frame because he didn't have that forward motion in that walk and that length of strides. When we went up into that trot, he kind of popped out. Is a little resistant, but the rider does do a good job as soon as she gets the transition of bridling that horse up, pushing it up into its bridle. She's got her hands in a good position for where she wants that horse's face to be. Does a little bit better with that transition this direction, not quite as much pop up in the front end. Okay. Nice canter this direction. That horse is leaning on her inside leg just a little bit, so I'd like to see her kind of pick that rib cage up, make him stand up in the shoulder and not kind of lay on that leg. Tip that nose into the inside just a little and pushing the hip in. That's going to get that horse to straighten out, lengthen its stride, and get a really nice, pretty finish up front. So nice ride.